on the Missouri State Sports Network from Learfield. This is Inside the Den with Coach Cunningham. Brought to you by Big Shots Golf. Play on, Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. The Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks are proud sponsors of the Missouri State Bears. Stop into your local Chevy dealer today. And by Murney Associates Realtors, the official realtor of the MSU Bears. Now, here's your host, the voice of Lady Bears basketball, Tom Ladd.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Inside the Den with Coach Cunningham. We'll also have Inside the Den with Coach Martin tonight, all at Big Shots Golf. We invite you to come on by. Busy hour of basketball talk here on the program. We'll get to our Mercy game recap in a moment. Lady Bears' next action coming up this Thursday night at home. They will host Middle Tennessee. You can listen to the broadcast on the KWTO 93.3 FM and AM 560 or the Varsity Network app for that ball game. As we always start off the program with our Mercy game recap, Coach Cunningham is here, and I'm glad you didn't take up residency on the East Coast, Coach. Welcome back to the frigid Midwest.
Thank you. It sure felt like it. We were gone for a while.
We were indeed. Man, oh man. Little extra couple of days there on East Coast.
We did. We had some extra days in the hotel. It felt like a long time, but we were glad to get back last night. And fortunately, we weren't impacted by the weather getting back here, so that was good.
Lady Bears now 13-8 on the season, 5-3 in Conference USA. Picked up a big win at Delaware Friday night. They had a nice little win streak going on before that game. 3 big wins prior to when we played them Friday night. Won at 79-54. Really just took it to them.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to start the road trip. As you mentioned, Delaware had been playing really well. Had really handled Middle Tennessee at home. On their home floor had beaten Liberty and then some. So they had been coming in with a hot streak. So I thought we did a great job coming out and really jumping on them early and really commanded the game. Really most of the game right after the first media timeout. From then on, really commanded the game. So it was good to see. We had a lot of key contributions from a lot of different people. Our bench was outstanding. Our freshmen that night were really, really good. Brought Kendal here tonight. She had a career high against Delaware, but thought we got some really, really good contributions. Maisha played really, really well. Just kind of a stark contrast to yesterday then. So, but it was a good way to at least get started at Delaware.
Yeah, Laney led the way with 17, but Kendal, as you had mentioned, career high 16. Kamen scored 16 in the game. And neat thing was, while you had been averaging, I think, 2 threes made per game in conference play, you hit several in that one by 4 different players as well, three-point shooting against their zone. You don't get to see a lot of zone.
No, it was kind of interesting heading in because I felt like they had started playing a lot more zone. They'd started playing a lot more of a 1-2-2 rather than just man-to-man. So we were prepared for it. And to be honest, I told the team in the locker room at halftime or prior to the game, to be prepared for man-to-man, but certainly expect the zone. And I said, I hope they zone us. Just try us. So and they did. And I thought we shared the ball really well. It was one of our season highs in assists. I think we had 17 assists. Yeah. We had one other game with 18 and moved the ball around, got a lot of good open looks. I thought we did a great job defending. We got out and we rebounded. We got out in transition. It was a good night for us.
Really was. You'd mentioned the freshmen, 36 points between them. Kendal with the career high of 16, but Nyla had a career-high 5 assists in the game, which was nice to see, and a positive assist-to-turnover ratio, too.
Yeah, something we've really been emphasizing with her, and had talked with her a lot the previous week and had watched a lot of film, so it was good to see that translate for that game, and especially in a game where, we needed her to play, every minute that she did. I think she ended up playing about 25 minutes, which might be a season high for her. But with Macy in foul trouble early, and then, she came in and really held it down. But I thought did a great job just facilitating, getting the ball to the right people in the right places where they can make plays. And it was great to see her come away with 5 assists. It's what we need her to do.
Absolutely. So that was a 79-54 win. You stay on the East Coast. You travel to Liberty right after the game and play them yesterday. Kind of one of those cold shooting starts to the game and never really did until the end. I mean, you made a nice run at the end, and then the clock kind of was your biggest opponent.
Yeah, it was a little bit, too much too late to overcome, but I thought we put ourselves in a position again, despite being down, to come back and put ourselves in a position that we had a shot. And, it certainly wasn't our best first quarter. Certainly wasn't our best first half. I think we tallied it. It was 15 offensive possessions in the first quarter there, and we had nine turnovers by halftime. I'm sorry, in the first half we had 10 turnovers. Heading into halftime, we had 0 O boards until the last minute of the first half. So just those two statistics alone, it's going to be tough to be feeling good about where you're at probably heading into halftime. Just not rebounding the basketball, which we felt like was going to be huge, and then turning the ball over as much as we did. And we guarded. I thought we guarded, but we didn't finish plays and just gave them too many opportunities. I was proud of our effort to put ourselves in a position to get back in the game, and like I said, give ourselves a chance at the end. We competed, we played hard, but against good teams, you've got to put together more minutes than that, consistently. And it's disappointing. I think that Liberty came out, and you have to give them credit. I thought they played with an extreme sense of urgency. That wasn't the same Liberty team that I've been seeing on film. So it's like one of those, you're going to get everybody's best shot. They knew it was a really important game, and they came out and they played like it.
Yeah, they had lost 5 straight to Division I teams at home. So this is one of those games they really felt like they needed, something in a positive manner, because they had lost to FIU Friday night as well.
Yeah, I thought they played with a great sense of energy. They played like their back was against the wall, and I think that was one of my concerns heading into the game was, that they're a talented team. They're certainly trying to get things in place and right the ship, and we were kind of on the wrong end of that. And I think coming off of the Delaware game, for whatever reason, I didn't think we had quite the same sense of urgency as we had going into Delaware. And you've got a quick turnaround 36 hours later. You can't do much physically. It's going to be a mental preparation, scout, getting ready. You turn around and play, and we weren't as sharp as we needed to be in a lot of facets.
Well, you do turn around now and play at home for a couple of games. You've got Middle Tennessee coming up Thursday night, a team that's in second place in the league standings behind La Tech right now in Conference USA. And then you've got Western Kentucky on Saturday, and a lot of stuff going on this week. I think Saturday's the reunion of the Final Four team from 2001. It's also you've got a special Pink Day that day as well. So a lot going on. Alumni in for the game.
You're probably more aware of what's going on this weekend than I am at this point. I know a while ago we talked about it, so we know it's on the horizon. But, honestly, today has been focused. This weekend was focused on task at hand.
Sure.
Today was, getting our team back in there. Didn't do much, really didn't do anything on the court, did some recovery, but spent a lot of time in film. We've been on the road a long 5+ days. So really felt like the most important thing today was to try to mentally and just watching, try to make sure our minds are right heading into a day off tomorrow, to be as well rested as we can, getting ready for a quick turnaround on Thursday. With our game being backed up till Sunday, you don't have the same amount of turnaround time. And I thought the most important thing was let's try to put to bed what happened this weekend, what happened yesterday, the good, bad, and indifferent, try to learn from it, give them a day off tomorrow, and then we'll have one day, quick turnaround again, getting ready for a really good Middle Tennessee team. Glad we're home, so hopefully we can get back to protecting our home floor. And, we've got to come out and, all these games are important. Everybody's jockeying for position. All these games are important. They all mean the same amount. Every game counts the same amount as the next one. So just trying to dig one game out at a time. But my sole focus has been kind of on the team and what we need to do right now rather than, all the festivities. That's for everybody else to coordinate and figure out. And we'll certainly be a part of it, but that's not the focus right now for us.
Sure. Kendal Brueggen will be our player guest, again, coming off a nice weekend. Talk a little bit about her development so far this year.
Yeah, it was great to see her play her best game of the season, and not necessarily just statistically with it being a career high, but I thought it was really impactful in a lot of different ways, and kind of feel like it's been a game that's been brewing, that she's been doing some really good things, throughout the year, and continues to get better and better, and there's no substitute for experience. So she's got an opportunity to get some really valuable experience, and, I think a huge key to our success or lack thereof is going to be the impact that we continue to have from our bench. And so if we can continue to get those guys experience, get them continuing to grow and get better, so by every game they're a little bit better, and we're kind of peaking at the right time by the end of the season. But had a really good game against Delaware, so that was great to see, and has to be a good confidence builder.
Be back to visit with Kendal Brueggen when we take a break. You're listening to Inside the Den with Coach Beth Cunningham on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield. And welcome back to Inside the Den tonight, brought to you by the Doubletree by Hilton Springfield, located at Glenstone and Kearney, where a warm cookie always awaits your arrival. Time now for the Great Southern Bank Lady Bear feature, brought to you by Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters, member FDIC. We're pleased to have alongside freshman Kendal Brueggen from Heston, Kansas. Kendal, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Thanks for being here. You brought your suite mates, I guess, your other freshmen, right?
Yes, we're kind of the trio here this year, and yeah, they're my pretty close friends, so I told them to come grab some dinner with me.
Is it because there's only one car between the three of you, or what's the deal?
Well, there's two cars between
Okay.
the three of us, but we typically travel in a group, so.
Very nice. Well, I'd mentioned you're from Heston, Kansas. Where's that at?
It's central Kansas, so a little 30 minutes away from Wichita, which
Okay.
most of you are probably familiar with. I'm a little directionally challenged, so couldn't quite tell you on a map, but yeah, it's
Hutch? Around Hutch?
a little. It's between Wichita and McPherson,
Okay.
so or Wichita and Salina, if that's more familiar.
It's a small town, I
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
But it's got some big industries in it. Couple of pretty big farming type industries there, right?
Yes, our mascot, the Heston Swathers, very unique across the United States and kind of one of a kind. So that's what our town is kind of represented by. And so having that big industry definitely draws some attention to it.
I think I read where the Heston Manufacturing Company invented the round baler, the big round bales, the machine that does that.
Yes.
How about
yes.
that?
I know.
See those all over the place
Right.
now.
They're pretty popular here in the Midwest.
Well, there we go. Little industry news here on the Coaches Show.
Learn something new every day.
Absolutely. Well, you're coming off a great performance over the weekend. Talk a little bit about your game at Delaware.
Delaware was a lot of fun. Great team win. We had several players with pretty solid stat lines, and so I was lucky that my teammates trusted me with the ball and had the ability to make some different plays. And yeah, it was definitely a confidence builder, like Coach said a little bit ago, and I was happy to be able to put some points on the board.
Haven't seen too many teams just play zone defense. I mean, they mix it up a little bit, but a lot of zone.
Yes, a lot of zone, and my number's 3, and I kind of like to shoot some threes, so that was nice. I'm a big fan when people decide to zone us, and Coach always says, like, bring it on.
Yeah.
We're definitely ready for whenever teams decide that's the way they want to go.
So much so that in high school you almost hit 200 threes your high school career, right?
I did. Yes, that was fun.
Almost 2,000 points there, averaged over 20 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3.5 steals as well. Made it to the state finals, 3 years there?
2 years, my
2 years?
junior and senior year, yes.
How was that? How tough is basketball in Kansas?
I mean, I like to think it's pretty challenging, but we were 3A, so between 1 through 6A kind of fell in the middle. We had a very competitive Central Kansas League with a lot of small local schools, but definitely could have competed with some of the big names in the state. And so my junior year, we actually had no seniors on the team. So to be able to make a state run and get second place, that was just momentum for what came senior year. And we didn't ever quite finish all the way like we wanted to, but to get those experiences and be able to make a big postseason run was a lot of fun with that group of girls.
So what position would you have played in a system like that? I mean, you got size, so you could play down low, but you also handle the ball.
Right. I was definitely off the ball a little more, kind of a 2-guard, 3-guard like I am now, but definitely was able to go down low and still facilitate with the ball for my teammates, and did a little bit of everything.
So Friday night, we talked about the game at Delaware. When you guys made your big run in the first half and really in the second half, it was with all 4 freshmen in there and Cayman, I believe. Cayman and the 4 freshmen. What's it like when that class is together out on the floor? Do you kind of smile a little bit wider when you guys are out there?
Oh, definitely, yes. I love everybody on our team, but that group specifically, I think our relationships are very strong, and I think that shows on the court, just the way we interact, and it's great team chemistry, so it was fun to be able to make that run with them.
Now, does Coach ever let you guys go against maybe the first team in practice, and does that give you guys a little jolt too?
There's definitely a little bit of that, yes. It's kind of sad when Maisha has to switch teams and play with the first group, but it's okay, we forgive. And so, yeah, it's definitely fun to play against the starters and kind of have a little bit of edge, like just see what we can do against them as well.
So you played some volleyball in high school as well. Was it tough to choose between the sports?
Initially, yes. I was playing club volleyball and basketball up until about my sophomore year, and then that kind of was the point where I had to decide which one I wanted to pursue in college, but ultimately my love for basketball won that battle, and here I am.
How tough a decision was it to sign with Missouri State? How was that process for you?
Just through the recruiting process,
Yeah.
or... Honestly, when I came on my unofficial visit, there were tears by my parents because it was just very obvious that this was where I was meant to be. And you kind of get that gut feeling where it's like, okay, this place, these people, there's something special about this program. And so it was kind of a no-brainer after that. I think I committed a week and a half later. So
you knew it right away, though?
Kind of speaks for itself, yeah.
Yeah. Did you know right away, though?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
So you were born in Germany, right?
I was.
How long did you live there?
About 2 years, I want to say. My dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
So
Any memories of that?
not really.
No.
I just look back on pictures, and it's actually a dream of mine to go back someday and just kind of see where I was at one point in my life that's kind of far off in the distance. So.
Maybe some pro basketball down the road there?
That's not really in my future plans
Okay.
as of now, but I mean, hey, there's 4 years until that decision's got to be made, so who knows?
As a matter of fact, your major is, I believe, biomedical sciences. So what do you want to do?
I'm looking at physician assistant off of that route. It's been a dream of mine to work in medicine, so that's the pathway I would like to pursue.
Very cool. Well, a great freshman year so far, and I know we got a third of the season still to go, so the better part of the season coming up. You excited for that?
Super excited. It's honestly came so fast. Like non-conference kind of felt like a blur, and it's crazy we're already into February with conference play a month down. So excited to see what the next few weeks have in store.
Well, congratulations on the game Friday night. Thanks so much for being with us, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, and thank you for having me.
You bet. Kendal Brueggen joining us, a freshman from Heston, Kansas, part of the Great Southern Bank Lady Bear feature. Hey, when you're out on the town and want to keep up with live college sports, be sure to download the free Varsity Network app, available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the Varsity Network app. We'll take a break. This is Inside the Den with Coach Beth Cunningham on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield. And welcome back to Inside the Den with Coach Beth Cunningham. Once again at Big Shots Golf, we're going to be with you till the top of the hour. Cuonzo Martin and Corey Riggs coming up here in about 10 minutes or so, a little less than that. Remember, the Lady Bears are home this week with games Thursday, 6:30 against Middle Tennessee, then Saturday, February 7th, hosting Western Kentucky at 1 p.m. That's Lady Bear Alumni Day, and the 2001 Final Four team will be recognized as well. For tickets, go to MissouriStateBears.com/tickets. That's this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Coach, you've got breakfast tomorrow. So
Lady
that'll
Bear
be
breakfast tomorrow morning over at Great Southern Bank Arena. So that's at 8 o'clock. So if anybody wants to join us for Lady Bear breakfast, we'll have my coaching staff, and then I believe Nyla Bush is coming, Maisha Washington, and trying to think. Oh, and Lainey Douglas.
Okay.
So those three will be there tomorrow.
Very good. 7 o'clock, I believe. Is that what
8
it is?
o'clock.
8 o'clock. Oh,
8 o'clock.
It's a little later than normal. Used to be bright and early. 7
I think
o'clock.
that was a long time ago.
Yes, yes.
No, we've been at 8 o'clock the last 2 years.
And then we'd mentioned the Final Four reunion coming up Saturday, and just talked with Coach Burnett a little bit ago, and she wished you the best and told me to tell you hello. But those players, a lot of those players will be in town for that. They have a little reception Friday night, and then Saturday they'll be recognized for the game. Nice having history like that. You come from programs with a lot of great history, and it's nice to have history in your program you're in currently.
Yeah, no question. You know, we're looking forward to having those former players, having the alumni come back, have Cheryl back on campus, and hopefully we represent well. But it'll be a great opportunity for our kids to get to meet them, for us to put some faces with some names and get to mingle with them, and just, you know, hopefully we'll have an opportunity for them to talk to our team as well. But, you know, always they left so much tradition and history here, so many great years, and it's nice that we can get them all together and celebrate 25 years after that Final Four.
Unique, too, because the opponent that day, Western Kentucky, they played in their first Final Four in 92 in L.A. That was their semifinal opponent that they lost to, so that's who we play Saturday. Kinda neat.
I think they probably tied it all together,
Yeah.
you know, strategically. So, Western Kentucky had some really good teams back then as well.
They did. So you've got Middle Tennessee that come in 12-9 Thursday, 7-2. So they're just in front of you in the conference standings. A freshman-dominated team. Their leading scorer, freshman Blair Bogus. They've got some shooters. They've got a transfer from Kansas City, who's one of their leading scorers. They do a little bit of everything pretty well.
Yeah, they've got some veteran leadership with a kid that transferred from UMKC who was really good for them, and freshman post player for them has been playing very, very well. And like you said, they have some really good shooters, a couple that are better ones in the league. You know, it's a young group, but they've gotten a lot of experience this year, and you know, they've gotten some veteran leadership with the transfer from UMKC. So they're very. I expect them to be very disciplined, hard-nosed. They're going to be well-coached. Everything is going to be difficult. You know, they just make things difficult, and probably very similar to, you know, kind of like a Liberty, a La Tech that, you know, I think we're both going to probably really defend each other, and it's going to be kind of one of those grinded-out type of games. And, you know, we've got to try to get back on track and, you know, mentally get ready to go. We'll have a quick turnaround. Like I said, we're off tomorrow, so, you know, you've got a one day prep, as we've done a lot of times this year with non-conference early in the year. So I'm confident that we'll be able to turn it around quickly. But good to be home, and hopefully we can get some great fan support, and let's really hopefully try to, one at a time, get a run starting here.
Absolutely. That preview brought to you by Parkcrest Dental. Parkcrest Dental is the official dental partner of Missouri State Athletics, and big thank you to Kendal for coming up. Great job, as always.
Yeah, she's great. She's great.
Fantastic. Show brought to you by the Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks, proud sponsors of Missouri State Bears and Lady Bears basketball. Stop into your local Chevy dealer today. Coach, great job. We'll see you on Thursday.
All right, thank you.
That'll do it for this half of the show. Stick around Inside the Den with Cuonzo Martin coming up after the break. This has been Inside the Den with Beth Cunningham on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
on the Missouri State Sports Network from Learfield. This is Inside the Den with Coach Martin. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Sutherland's, your local hardware store and proud sponsor of Missouri State Athletics. And by Midwest Ford Dealers. Midwest Ford Dealers are driven by value. Official partner of the Missouri State Bears. Find your local Midwest Ford dealer at Ford.com. Now, here's your host, the voice of the Bears, Corey Riggs.
And we welcome you back to Big Shots Golf on a very chilly, but honestly, it was a lot nicer today than what it has been for the last couple of weeks. Monday to talk Missouri State Bears basketball here on Inside the Den. I am Corey Riggs, thrilled to be joined by the head coach of the Bears, Cuonzo Martin. And Coach, first things first, I understand you guys have gotten a couple of very, very well-deserved and needed days off to kind of recuperate before you get ready for a very big matchup this weekend with Liberty.
Yes, after Saturday's game, we took off Sunday and we took off Monday. I just felt like it was a need to fight for fresh legs, and I think fresh legs equal fresh minds, and I just think they go hand in hand, and just especially when you're playing key guys, so many minutes, and they're doing a great job of it. But just, I'd rather be fresh and ready than anything.
Yeah, coaches need that too, a chance to recharge the battery and refocus and get ready to put in the work in a long week of preparation. Taking out through our Mercy weekly recap. Mercy, your life is our life's work. Bears played 2 games last week, a tough loss, 80-71 to Sam Houston, and a win 74-67 over Jacksonville State. Starting with the game with Sam Houston, that was a game you had great performances from your post. Big Mike gave you 22 points in that game. Keith Palek, who we're going to talk to here in a little bit, goes 17 points and 7 rebounds. But that was a game that in the second half it was kind of a struggle to keep up with the Bearcats at times.
Well, I just think it came down to I thought we did a great job, taking away their initial actions, really taking away their leading score. And it came down to one-on-one plays on the perimeter, and we lost that battle. Just as part of the game, you got to grow from it. There's probably been 3 other games like that this season where just the isolation of the guard, play 1 or 2 guys and just making plays. And we got to be better prepared when it happens again, because it'll present itself again.
I understand. I wanted to ask you after that game, and I didn't, but I will now. Like the young man Clark as a freshman guard, he ended up being able to dribble out the shot clock, get down, and then get the 1 or 2 results he wanted, a layup or get to the foul line. Was that in the scouting report on that young man? I say in the games I had watched, the couple of games I'd watched previous, I didn't see that he had that sort of skill set, but he definitely exhibited it against the Bears that day.
No, it wasn't in the scouting report. It wasn't his game. I think to be exact, it's either 62 or 67% of his shots came from the 3, so he's more of a spot-up guy coming off the bench. But obviously you see things in the game and you make the necessary adjustments. I think it's similar to the last game we played. I think they saw some with their point guards and they made some adjustments. And I'm not trying to give a lot away, so you got to watch film to understand what I'm saying. But we have to be better at that position and containing one-on-one, because that's what it comes down to, because we did a great job taking away initial actions, and now we got to be able to guard, for 5 or 6, 7 seconds. You're a man against you and him. You got to get a stop.
I know basketball is a team game. There's 5 players out there at any given time. You were without one of your players, though, in that game. Kobe Williams couldn't go in that one. You did get him back for the Jacksonville State game, but I think maybe, at least in my case, I feel like maybe I didn't realize how beneficial or what a big part of the defense Kobe was, especially on the perimeter.
Well, to his credit, he's really grown, but he's a guy you love to coach, because it's real simple. Coach says do this, then he'll do it. That's it. I mean, whatever it is, if this is what's required, then I'll do it. And I think he has the ability to lead. He's selfless. He wants to be good. I didn't think he was a very good defender. Not that he didn't try, but early in the season, even in the summertime, I didn't think he was a good defender. I thought he had a physical frame, so he had the parts to be good. But now I would say, I'd be hard-pressed to find a better perimeter defender in our conference today. Now, we hadn't played everybody yet, but a better perimeter defender who takes pride in it, but also giving you 16 points a game is really impressive. And he's not a guy that forces shots. He's not a guy that's over-dribbling, doing things he shouldn't be doing. But he also takes pride. He wants to guard the other team's best perimeter guy.
That says a lot. So you shift from the Sam Houston game to Jacksonville State. You get really good numbers from all 5 of your starters. All 5 Bears starters scored 10 or more points in that matchup. That double-figure scoring.
It's a good game for us. I just thought guys played, they flowed and had fun doing it. The biggest thing for us offensively, we could score the ball. And obviously, when you have Keith and Mike, those are 2 guys. One-on-one is really tough, so you have to have help. And those guys do a great job of finding guys, getting us in position to score and make plays. But I think what it comes down to is we have to get the ball up and out quickly to get easy opportunities, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to have that defense set, because then it becomes harder. They bog down on our big guys. So the biggest key, we'll spend a lot of time this week, get it out 3 seconds across the floor and let's go. But also in that, you got to be able to make good decisions with the basketball. That doesn't mean go up and force up a bad shot, a quick shot, turn the ball over. Get it up quick, move the ball, and let's play.
Late in that game, Jacksonville State was closing the gap on you guys. I thought Antoine Burnett, who has not been in the starting lineup all season, but now that he's gotten into that sort of starting 5 and is on the floor late in the game for you, he had 5 big points down the stretch of that game that kept you guys having a little bit of breathing room.
Well, he's an experienced basketball player. He's a physical presence. He understands how to play defense. He understands angles. He knows how to get steals. He knows when to help. He'll get his nose dirty. But also he's coming around. But he's a product as well as another guy where you don't have those guys early in the season to kind of set a tone. So now you're playing guys out of position, and you don't have an edge like we like to play with an edge, and I think we have that now. But he brings that to the table, and he's a guy that's also a student of the game. He's not afraid to say things that need to be said within the locker room or even in huddles.
You can definitely tell that there's a level of toughness that he brings to the floor with him. I know the word you like to use, grit.
Yes.
He definitely has that when he gets on the floor, and nobody's going to intimidate Antoine Burnett, and that's a good characteristic to have when you're playing in big games. Our show tonight is brought to you by Beacon Springfield Apartments and Beartown Townhomes. They proudly support our Missouri State Bears and Lady Bears, located just steps off campus. We're going to get ready to take our first break on the men's basketball side of the show. The Bears are on the road this week, Saturday. The only game this week, they will take on the league-leading Flames of Liberty out in Lynchburg, Virginia. Game time is 1 o'clock. You can listen to the broadcast throughout the Ozarks on KWTO 93.3 FM 560 AM or the Varsity Network app or the Missouri State Radio Network affiliate in your area. You're listening to Inside the Den with Coach Cuonzo Martin here on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome back to Inside the Den tonight here on the north side of Springfield. It's brought to you by the great folks here at Big Shots Golf. Big Shots Golf is proud to be your entertainment destination for a tech-driven golf and elevated food and beverage experience. You can join the E-Club to receive special promotions at BigShotsGolf.com. All you have to do is select the Springfield location and play on. Time now for our Great Southern Bank player feature. Great Southern Bank, understanding what really matters, member FDIC. And we don't get a lot of requests on this show, but I swear I think it's been since about week 2 of the season that people have been asking, when are you going to have Keith Palek on? When are you going to have Keith Palek on? Well, tonight is your night because the 6'9 senior forward from Woodbine, New Jersey is here. So help me in welcoming Keith Palek III to the show tonight. Keith, thanks for doing this, man.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Now, this is a lot of fun. You have been putting up gaudy numbers this year, man. I keep looking around, and it's just a string of 20-point performances. Coach Keltner and I talk a lot about what a deceptive player you are at times, and that maybe that might be the best part of your game that no one talks about, whether it's the no-look passes, the jab steps, the fakes to try and get your shot when you need to get to it. Has that always come naturally to you, or is that something that you've had to put work in over the last couple years?
I mean, I'm always working on my game, but I think that's something I've always kind of had. I got to start off by saying the coaches and my teammates put me in great positions all night. They make it really easy for me. I have shooters all around me, and Big Mike down low, so not a lot of attention's on me at all times. So that really makes it a lot easier. And then I just use my skill set to my advantage and make the plays.
Keith is the Bears' leading scorer this year. He just went over the 1,500 career point plateau. What didn't get, that's definitely worth a round of applause. What didn't maybe get as much attention, you went over 700 career rebounds as well. When you started playing college basketball at California University in Pennsylvania, were you thinking 1,000 points, 1,500 points was something that you'd have on your resume?
I can't say those numbers I thought of having, but I always had high goals for myself. I knew I had the ability to do it. It's just continuing to put the work in, staying locked in, and just getting better every day. And I'm glad to see that the hard work's paying off.
All right, I got to ask you about this because one of the things that I don't know why it sticks in my brain the way it does, but mascots tend to stick into my brain. You've got a couple of the more unique mascots I've ever seen, and getting ready to sit down to a guy. Tell everybody, what was your high school mascot?
It was a hermit, so it was like a Catholic crusader type of thing.
Yeah, so go Hermits. and then you go to California University of Pennsylvania, where the mascot was the
Vulcans.
Now, I'm a dork, so the first thing I thought was that must be a Star Trek reference, but it's not. It's talking about like Vulcan as in the Roman god of like metallurgy and everything else. Those are some really weird. Again, becoming a bear is like the best thing ever to happen to you, man.
No, that's true. I never even really thought about that, but those are definitely two interesting ones.
They are two kind of way out there sort of mascots, but so you become a bear. Talk to me about what that process was like. You had a good run for a while there at Cal and in the state of Pennsylvania. Coaching changes. Sometimes you need to go try something else for one more year. How did you find your way to Springfield?
Yeah, I mean, the transfer process is very interesting. I mean, you get hundreds of calls, but it's kind of hard to see who's really interested or not. A lot of people just want their name out there and talking to you and get in touch. But when Coach Martin and company reached out to me, I could tell it was real interest. They really wanted me to be a part of the Bear community. When they had me out here, I only took one other visit other than here, and it was just my favorite one by far. I had a blast. I got along with all the coaches. I met Big Mike, Logan, Zaxton. They were all here from last year. I could tell it was a good group coming back. And once I finished the visit, it only took me a day, and then I was committed the next day. So I was pretty confident.
Well, that says a lot. So is it the other players? Is that the coaches? What kind of was at the top of your wish list because you only had the 1 year left, right? So you want to make the most of it.
Yep. Yeah, it was definitely. I'd probably say the coach is number one. I wanted to go somewhere where they would trust me and give me an opportunity. Only 1 year left. I didn't want to go somewhere and have a low impact. I wanted to be a big impact player, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity here, and I'm making some things happen, thankfully.
Well, you've definitely been an impact player. I joked with Coach Martin during the commercial break about this. I wouldn't do this to you. I was going to say Keith has scored in double figures in 20 of 22 games this year. I joked with him. I was going to say, what in the world happened in the 2 games? But, I mean, you 20 points a night has just become almost commonplace for you. You're averaging 18, almost 19 points per game. But maybe what doesn't get as much attention, the scoring numbers are going to get everybody's eye. What you can do with the basketball, you and Big Mike both, the amount of assists that go through the post, I'm really impressed with.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of sets that draw it up to for me and Big Mike to catch it in the post, and it's not always to score though; it's to make plays for others. And my passing game is something I take a lot of pride in. I think I'm a high-level passer, and guys are moving without the ball. They're setting screens, getting open, and it gives me the ability to find them. And they knock down the shot or make the layup, and I get credit with the assist, thankfully.
Yeah, you say, and there's been some nights. I mean, Northwest Oklahoma State, 8 assists in that game against Texas Rio Grande Valley, a 5-assist game, a 5 assists at Xavier, 7 assists against Middle Tennessee. It's definitely something that I feel like when this offense is really clicking, it's because a lot of the offense is running through you, and that's not necessarily natural. A lot of times you think traditional basketball point guard, that's how the ball gets distributed, but that's not really when you guys are at your best.
Yeah, I think, whenever we have those 5 guys that start the game off, every one of them can make a play. So whenever it's going through me, I'm just trying to, find a way to make plays for myself and others at the same time, because I know we got a talented group of guys. So on the nights when they're calling my number a lot, I just get locked in and try to do my best for the team.
So what were Keith Palek's goals coming into this season? I mean, we obviously talked about the 1,500 points and the 700 rebounds, but what were you hoping to accomplish with your last year of college basketball?
I wouldn't say I really had any specific numbers or anything like that in mind, like stats-wise, but I just wanted to be, a part of the first five, getting a lot of minutes out there and being an impact player, like I said before. Ultimately, it's a lot more fun when you're winning games. So
absolutely,
these numbers are cool, but I'm more focused on winning the basketball games, and we got 9 or so conference games down the stretch, and we're in a position to do something special.
What are your plans for after the season?
I'm not settled in on one thing yet, but pro basketball is definitely in the mind, and I don't know where that's going to be at, but that's definitely the goal.
There's definitely been some great players, especially players under Cuonzo Martin, that have had great careers, whether it's an opportunity to play in the G League, an opportunity to play overseas. Guys like Kyle Weems and stuff, had very lucrative career playing in Italy, Spain. There's some good basketball over there that's a possibility too. Not everybody thinks about it. Before I let you go, I wanted to ask you though about your mom and dad. Everybody's parents are uber dedicated. To get a kid to this level, to be a D1 college athlete, takes so much time, so much love, so much investment. But your folks, I see almost every road game, even in the West Coast swing, or the West Texas swing, we're in UTEP, we're in Las Cruces. Your mom and dad, they must have really understanding bosses to get this much time off to follow you around all winter.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it, but I can't even explain to you how appreciative I am of them. It's been that way my whole life too, from grade school to high school to college. They've been there as many times as they possibly can. And I was telling Coach and stuff, I actually have 2 younger sisters in college too right now.
Okay.
So when they're not at my games, they're at their games. So it's never a night off for them. They're always at a basketball game at some point.
Are they at least at the same school, or is it two
different schools?
3 kids at 3 different schools, all playing ball.
Yep.
No way. No chance I can follow that around. Well, man, we wish you the best of luck the rest of the way. Enjoy watching you play. Good luck down the stretch in these last 9 or so games, and we'll see what shakes out down in Huntsville.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thanks for having me.
That is Keith Palek, everybody, here in our great Southern Bank player feature. You're listening to Inside the Den with Coach Martin on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome back one final time here for Inside the Den. We get back head coach Cuonzo Martin now. Before we get into our Parkcrest Dental Conference USA standings, just a word on Keith Palek. A young man that you only got for 1 year, but I think it's safe to say that he may have been a little under-recruited, because he definitely has fit in to the Division I college landscape with the Bears this year.
Well, he has the size, he has the skill, he has the desire. I mean, he's a complete offensive player. At 6'9". Sometimes you get a guy to say 6'9", he's probably 6'7" or 6, but he's a legitimate 6'9". Good feel for the game. Even though he scores the ball, he's a willing passer. Plays inside, outside. It's fun to play, fun to watch him play, and I assume it's fun to play with him. But he's a joy to be in our program. We love to have him.
He is fun to watch. I can guarantee that. If you haven't come out and seen him play, you need to. Quick rundown of the Parkcrest Dental Conference USA standings. Liberty still all alone at number 1, 10-0 in the league, 18-3 overall. The Bears and Sam Houston State are tied for second at 7-4. Then Jacksonville State, who the Bears just beat, 6-4. Kennesaw State, 6-5. Then La Tech and Middle Tennessee, the 5-5 teams. Then the back half of the league is all teams that have a losing record in conference play. So as you turn your attention now, Coach, to get ready for Liberty, I talked about it today at Tip-Off Club. The craziest thing that Coach Keltner has told me about the Flames is, in ranking pace of play, they're like in the bottom 3 in the country. Very slow, very deliberate, but this is maybe the most efficient offense, not just in Conference USA, but in the country.
Yes, they do a great job, and they have a lot of experience coming back. They have 4 starters returning, and in addition to their program is a fifth-year guy that we recruited as well. So a talented group that's been together quite a bit. They can make shots. They play well together. And Zach Cleveland is about 6'8", who's really their point center. So he facilitates, brings it up, and put guys in position. Doesn't shoot threes, but if you get matchups, he'll back guys down. Similar to Keith and Mike in terms of that. But also he's a good passer, take it off the dribble. When he got those guys, 4 guys around, they can really shoot threes. And I think that's where they get you. You get so consumed with their ability to make threes, because they're a really good three-point shooting team. And then you allow a lot of drives to the lane, now they get easy layups. So, again, it's at a premium that we defend one-on-one, contest three-point shots, and every man has to do their job, because once, like any good team, once you get in the paint, something has to give. And what they do is they stay spread. So you get it at the rim. If not, they land it up or they pitch it out for threes.
And it sounds like if it's that efficient of an offense, that means when they do pitch it out, they don't miss very many.
No, they shoot it well. They shoot it well, but I'm looking forward to it. I mean, just because something has to give. We got to impose our will on the game and play the way we play.
Well, we will be looking forward to the Bears imposing their will on the Flames this Saturday at 1 o'clock. We are out of time. Thanks for joining us on the show tonight. Thanks to Coach Martin, to Keith Palek, and our producer back at Radio Springfield, Jeff Boggs. This has been Inside the Den on the Missouri State Radio Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to Inside the Den with Coach Cunningham and Coach Martin. Brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Midwest Ford Dealers. Midwest Ford Dealers are driven by value. Official partner of the Missouri State Bears. Find your local Midwest Ford dealer at Ford.com. Sutherland's, your local hardware store and proud sponsor of Missouri State Athletics. Big Shots Golf. Play on. Murney Associates Realtors, the official realtor of the MSU Bears. And by Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks. The Chevy Dealers of the Ozarks are proud sponsors of the Missouri State Bears. Stop into your local Chevy dealer today. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Missouri State Sports Network.